Good morning, everybody. It's demo day, Thursday, and this is another live demonstration. And this one's by request. So last time we did a demo day was the bowl cozies, which was really fun. And so today is log cabins with the Creative Grids log cabin trim tool. So there's 3 different ways you can make the log cabin. So you can see them here. There's the traditional, then there's courthouse steps, or this other one here. I love making log cabins. Log cabins are a classic quilt block. There's lots of ways to make them, and this one makes it really nice. 8-inch finished is what this makes. And then this is kind of like a bonus log cabin trim tool. This one here makes a curvy log cabin. It's not curved piecing, but you can see here these 2 different blocks give you a look of having a curve, and this one here is the 6-inch version. So these are the 2 types that I have in the store. So let's just get going. I am sewing today on my Bernina 770 Cave Edition, and I do have a couple of these left to sell with all kinds of free gifts. So let's just move camera a little so you can see some cutting and everything. So first step here is to have your strips. So I've got all kinds of strips, and they don't have to be the same width. So you want to go with 1 3/4 minimum, and then on up from there. So if you've got scraps, this is really great. You don't have to cut them all 1 3/4. You can leave them a little larger if you want. And then you also need your center square. Traditionally, the center square was red, like the heart of the home, the heart of your log cabin, but it can be whatever you want. And these are going to be cut 2.5. So this is always going to be the center. And when you're looking in your log cabin trim tool, there's a few center blocks. So there's round 1, round 2, round 3, for either the courthouse steps or the traditional, depending on the fabric usage you have. And then there's also the centering square version here. So I'm making the traditional log cabin, and so these are where I'm going to view my 1, 2, and 3, and you're always going to view underneath that, like where that center square is. So I'll just always have that center square in the viewing square. So I see some people are watching. Hey everyone, welcome to our demo day. I kind of have one started here, but I'm just going to start from scratch. So you always start with your center square, and then this is going to be round 1. So I'm going to just go with a short strip to sew on my round 1. So I'm going to have my fabric right side up, and I'm using a 1/4 inch quilt piecing foot. This is 97. It calls for a scant 1/4 inch seam, so I'm just lining that up a little bit small there. I'm going to do a little back stitch. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to use my cutter here. So that's my round 1. So I've got that stitched on round 1. And now I'm pressing this. My little iron pad is just out of view. I hope everyone's having a fun snow day. It's snowing here in Ponca City. It's like the perfect day to do cookie baking. Anyway, so here's my round 1. Now everything's going to get turned counterclockwise, and now I'm ready for round 2. So round 1, round 2, and I just leave this tail here. Don't even worry about it. Now I'm just going to place my round 2, and you can see that I have pieces that are a little long. That doesn't matter, and this doesn't have to be perfect either. The only thing that needs to be perfect is the seam I'm sewing. So that should be a nice cut, straight cut. Okay, I'm gonna take round 2. So I've got my scant 1/4 inch seam, and I'm gonna cut that. And then while that's just cutting, I'm just gonna grab another strip. Okay, so that's round 2, and now I need to press that. So this can be kind of like a mindless, fun log cabin. While you're watching, just let me know if you're enjoying the demo, if you've made a log cabin quilt before, and if you want to see what do you want to see next Thursday. So I'm always going to turn it counterclockwise. So 1, 2, and now I'm on round 3. So again, and if this bothers you, just whack it off. It's fine. We're using scraps here. So now I'm on my round 3, and I can even make this shorter too. And it can hang off a little bit on both ends if you want. If it's not perfect on the edge, don't worry about it. So that's my round 3. Here it is, and I'll press that. The magic is coming, guys. The magic of this tool is coming. And you could actually, you know, if you're making several blocks, here I'll cut a little piece that's not super big. If you're making a whole bunch of these, you would just do all your round 1. So this is like, I did my 1, 2, 3, and now my 4. Here. I usually sew with a slide table. I'm not, just so you can see more of my cutting. Okay, so that's my 4 strips around. So I got my 1, 2, 3, 4 and my center. I'll press this one here. And now we're gonna use that tool to make it magic, okay? So the center square always gets lined up underneath whatever round I'm on. So I'm on round 1, so you can see that center square is right in the very middle of that, I don't know, center square, and it's round 1. So now I'm going to take my cuts. That's just trash. And then my second one. Put my sweet, cute little bin. Okay, so now I'm going to just spin it around and still placing this center in here. So there's nothing to look at out in this area. You're just always going to look at whatever round you're on, so round 1, and then do your trim. All right, and so that's my perfect round 1 log cabin. So now I'm ready for round 2. So when I'm looking here at round 2, I'm always going to start, I think, where my original round 1 was. Okay, so it's kind of like goalposts. So if you think about it, I've got my goalpost here, and my next strip's always going to go up against the goalpost. So now I got to decide. I think this lime green will look good here. So now I'm on round 2, and I'm just going to keep going. My 1/4 inch, scant 1/4 inch is what they call for, but I'm just using my my Bernina presser foot, and it seems to work out great. So now I'm on round 1 again. So if you think about it as round 1 again, press and turn it counterclockwise. Let me do that. So here's my second round of so it's actually round 2, right? And so I'm going to turn that, and now I've got my goalpost here, and this is where my next one is gonna go. I like this kind of raspberry color. I just pulled these strips out of our scrap bin this morning. There we go. And that's just gonna get stitched all the way down. And I'll give that a press too. Sometimes, especially like projects like this, and I'm going to turn it counterclockwise, and now I've got my 2 goalposts. Now don't worry that that's bigger, it doesn't matter. That's going to get squared up later on, right? Because we're on round 2, so this is going to get squared up when I'm done with my round 2 strips. So I'm just going to lay this strip down and stitch it again. When you're making these, I feel like you have to have like a little mat next to your machine. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got my little mini iron, an iron pad, and it makes it go so fast. I'm not having to walk away from my machine or get up or walk over to an ironing board. Okay, so that's my next round here. And then I'll press this. Okay, so I turned it already counterclockwise. So my last strip on this round, and you can see my goalposts here. So I'm gonna split my goalpost, and I think I'm gonna go back to orange. Oh, I haven't used this. I'm gonna use the orange here. Some of these strips are 2.5 inches, I think. But if that's what you have and you wanna make your log cabin, go for it. Okay, so this is the last round I'm going to trim because I think you've kind of gotten the idea of this really awesome log cabin trim tool. And of course, depending on, you know, what size log cabin you want to make, I guess you could stop here. Okay, so here is my log cabin. I've already sewn around one more round. So now I'm on round 2. Okay, so that's all about where the center square goes on my log cabin. And you know, I'm gonna kind of get this bigger piece out of the way. There's my round 2. Now, let's see. For a second, I didn't have it lined up correctly. Okay, so round 2, because the reason why I knew I didn't have it lined up correctly is I didn't have any yellow to cut off over here. So you gotta make sure your round 2 square is right in your center. And you're gonna always cut those 2 sides off. Okay, and now I'm ready to turn it again. Line that up, round 2, again, one more time here. So there's only really 3 rounds in this particular log cabin. I think it's much easier. See, isn't that cute? So right now, this measures, what is it like? Looks like 6.5. And then after I do that last round, round 3, then it will measure an 8-inch square. But really pretty, super fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this demo on the Creative Grids trim tool, and we sell this in the store right now for $22.99. Bye everybody, have a Merry Christmas.